Leonard, guys, what's your thought on him?
A very encouraging start to Leonard's career, Kevin. He's a tough defender, an excellent rebounder, and his offensive game expanded pretty quickly his rookie season as well.
I expect his offense to continue growing, too. His huge hands help him in that regard, Steve. Great nose for the ball, high rate of steals, an expert at stripping it away. Barnes can't get it to go.
A dramatic improvement for the San Antonio Spurs defensively last season, guys. Coach Pop had suggested that they might have gotten too old to be an elite defensive team anymore, but that wasn't the case. I think he challenged them a little bit, and they raised the bar of their defensive performance.
Deep two from Crawford. Here's Jordan. About 1 minute into the first quarter. And there's the 3-second violation. And Clark, you mentioned the defensive improvement of the Spurs. Going into last season, their stat gurus told them they needed to focus even more on contesting shots, even if that meant committing more fouls or allowing more offensive rebounds.
Well, and that's exactly what they did, Kevin. They gave up a few more offensive rebounds, fouled slightly more than they had the prior season, but they were better in terms of shot blocks, steals, and they held their opponents to a lower field goal percentage. So a great example of getting an edge from advanced stats. You see the defenders get out of his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the bucket, but not that time.
Crawford with the ball. Now guarded by Splitter. Releases. Offensive rebound. A second chance effort. Jordan. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot two.
Way to play in attack mode and get inside.
And you know, if you're on defense and you're going to foul, make sure it's a good one. They did, preventing the and one. Hey, I think we all knew that the Clippers were good last year, but we really took notice when they rattled off those 17 wins in a row in December. That was a franchise record, which had previously been 11, and that's when the league really took notice.
Here's Duncan. Battles through traffic and lays it in.
He was the first one to react to that miss. Excellent anticipation on his part. A hustle play on the putback by him.
There's Crawford with the three. The Clippers keep it alive. Griffin passes to Barnes. Paul for three. A rebound by the Spurs. Duncan's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Parker kicks to Splitter. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Well, it was the year of the win streak last season with Miami doing what they did and Denver getting hot as well. But you know, Steve, the Clippers had the first lengthy win streak and turned some heads earlier in the season.
Yeah, what was that, about 17 games in a row they won? And I thought that kind of established the Clippers in the West, put a little fear in the rest of the conference, and gave L.A. a swagger that I thought helped them get through the rest of the season.
Now here's Paul. Makes the lead pass. And out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession.
I tell you what, that's just a major unforced error right there, guys. My goodness.
San Antonio with the ball. They're on a 9-1 run right now. He feeds it to Ginobili. Crawford with the steal. First quarter of play, we're about 3 minutes in.
You know, one of the stranger things of Tim Duncan's Hall of Fame career is how his free throw percentage has fluctuated from season to season, guys. Some years in the 70s, others in the low 60s. Last year was a good one for Timmy, though, as he shot well over 70.
Boris Diaz checked in for the Spurs. That's a 2 from Parker. Not enough on that one as it misses. Clippers trail by 8. Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Kevin, earlier I had a chance to speak with Greg Popovich. He He knows a big part of winning this game will come down to how well they can guard Blake Griffin. He said it all comes down to positioning and preventing him from getting inside, both on and off the ball. And guys, he's willing to concede some open jump shots to Griffin to do that. We'll see if Griffin can make him pay for it. Back to you.
And thank you, Doris. Matt Bonner, he's checked in for Tim Duncan. And the Clippers decide to take their first time out here. Going back to Duncan's free throw shooting, last season he changed his routine and shooting motion. He doesn't do that long pause anymore, and the numbers he put up last year were terrific at the line.
I think he found the right balance. He used to shoot the ball too quickly once he released it. This is a much smoother stroke that we've seen from Duncan. That's why he shot better than 80% from the foul line for the first time in his career.
Catching up on the changes for the Clippers. Danny Granger, he's checked in for Davis. Redick comes in for Jamal Crawford. And it's Collison in for Chris Paul. Here's Redick. Sinks it. What range from outside. Wow. Redick's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Bonner, no good.
And you got to like the defense inside, really protecting the rim.
Challenging shots and making his presence felt around the rim, that's exactly what he can give you.
And that one's good.
Oh, he's going to keep banging those home if you give him that much space.
Parker with it. And Granger picks him up defensively. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Well, he's certainly not the biggest name of somebody that strikes fear into the heart of coaches, but Matt Bonner is more than serviceable and knows how to be a thorn in the side of other teams. He just sits out on the perimeter, and when he's open, he knocks down threes.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. Bellinelli, he's checked in for Kawhi Leonard. And it's Mills in for Tony Parker. Mills dishes to Green. The Spurs rebound.
Yeah, close, but I didn't think he got on balance quickly enough.
And it's hard to draw charges as quick as players are at this level. That's not an easy bit of work there.
And Bonner, the Red Rocket, so deadly with that unorthodox release from the shoulder.
Yeah, three-point specialist. He helps space the floor for this great offense, and he's got a good feel, too. A good passer and knows where he needs to be defensively.
Redick with the 3. The dish now to Barnes. And the foul call on Daniel Green. That is his first foul of the game. Griffin passes to Collison. Puts the lead pass in front of him. Barnes kicks to Griffin. Second shot opportunity. Over Bellinelli. And he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops. Spurs leading by 4.
You know, you go through the regular season, guys, and set all sorts of records for your franchise and wins and winning streaks and all that. You win your division for the first time ever, your first 50-win season, and what do you get for it? Bounced in the first round of the playoffs. It's still progress, though, and I think the Clippers will use that for motivation this season.
And San Antonio calls the first time out of the game. Clark, as you said, the Clippers got up 2-0 on the Grizzlies, but all of a sudden it came to a crashing halt. And Steve, they dropped 4 consecutive games, and just like that, we're out of the postseason.
Yeah, injuries played a part. Blake Griffin sprained his ankle, but I think the Clippers were exposed a little bit too. They're limited offensively on the front line, and maybe not quite enough shooting, but that's why they made the moves in the offseason, and they're looking to pick up and make some improvement in that regard.
And here's Mills after the three-pointer from Barnes. And yes, sir, that one drops.
Man, he shows us he knows how to finish with a flourish.
Clippers trailed by 3. And for 3, Collison. They get it again. Now the feed to Barnes. Collison kicks to Redick. Barnes. Outside Collison. And out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession.
That's a poor possession. You just give away the ball with a sloppy pass.
Mills dishes to Bellinelli. And a miss there on the triple. Here's Redick. Shot is off.